Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to look at two quick and easy shop projects that I use in my shop. One deals with a jig for my disc sander so that I can sand pen blanks at both a 90-degree angle and a 30-degree angle, so when I'm doing segmenting I can make things fit nice and tight. And the other is some casters for my workbench. They're both real easy to make, so let me show them to you. Sometimes when I'm making segmented pens, I use my disc grinder to grind sometimes 90 degrees like this, and then sometimes I use it to cut a 30-degree bevel on the end so that I can lay a piece of fish paper or other color material in to segment with to separate. And when I do that, I'll cut it 30 degrees and then I'll come back and cut it 30 degrees the other way to put it that point in the middle for that chevron look, I think they call. So today we're going to make a sled to go on this grinder that sets that up. And we just need a few simple pieces, probably scrap that you got laying around. First of all, we need a runner to go in this track. I'm going to use corian. I had a piece of corian and I have cut it to fit in this miter slot. It's got hardly any play, but yet it slides just so nice and easy. So that's the first thing you need to do. You can cut you a runner to fit your miter slot. And then for the table, on my particular one, this one is 6 inches by 12 inches. So we'll need a piece of a table like this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to place one piece at 90 degrees right there like this. And that'll serve as our fence for the one when we want to grind or sand down at 90 degrees. And then we're going to place one at 30 degrees like this. And that will serve as our fence for the ones when we want to grind at 30 degrees like this. And that's really all there is to it. So 4 pieces. Our runner, our table, and then our 2 fences that we will use. Before I actually take it to the grinder and install the runner, I'm going to go ahead and find my 30-degree angle line, and I've got this little protractor and I've got it set at 30 degrees. And the best way is to put up a block, and I set it right up against it. And I'll draw that line. And that is the line that we will affix this to. And then this one will go in at a 90. I just need to make sure. I know that this square is square. Okay, now I can extend that line. So we'll glue this one down like this, and this one down. So our first order of business, we've struck this line, we struck this line. So our first, we're going to go ahead and glue these 2 runners down like this. And I'm just going to use some CA glue to start. We might put some screws in the end. Who knows? But I'm going to put a little activator on that. Then we come back with some CA glue. I'm going to use my square. To make sure that that surface is 90 degrees to this surface.
And that will be.
And this one, I'm going to try to get it pretty close to the edge. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do something a little different. We're going to use some wood glue. I've seen guys do this, but I've never done it, so we'll see how it works out for us. But then I'm going to put a little CA at the backs to hopefully hold it down. Now we've got our line struck. Just want to make sure I get it on it. This one's not super critical, but I would like for it to be as accurate to 30 as I can. That's all there is to that assembly. Now we'll take it to the grinder and we will set it 90 degrees on our runner. Okay, from the overhead you can see I've laid some veneer in the bottom, and what that does, it sets it off of the bottom. It makes this set just a little bit proud so that I can glue the table to our runner without gluing it to the table. So we've got that raised up, and now I want to position it as close as I can. Try to give it a dry fit first, and I'm going to position the square, and we'll glue it down just like that. And we know that this corner is square, so if we put it where we want, then it should be the same all the way down. So now let's glue it down. Okay, I've drawn out where our runner is going to run, and I'm going to place glue on that one. I'm going to spray some accelerator on the runner, and I'm going to place some glue, some super glue or CA glue in there. And now we will place it like we did in our dry run. Flat there, we've got our little gap. Now I'll countersink and put a couple of screws into this. We can remove our shim. Now that's it. Perfect. Now let's see how it works. Okay, let's see it in action. That's perfect. Now the 30 degrees. Okay, the way this would usually work when I was segmenting, if I wanted to do like a chevron look like this, on my segmenting sled, I would cut it close to 30 degrees on both sides. And then I'd come back here and really fine tune it. I can see how this is really going to be useful. The next thing I want to show you guys today on this is a nice improvement if you've got mobile workbenches. These are some of the best casters I've ever used. And you know, we all try different casters. You buy them from the big box stores, you buy them from Harbor Freight, and we try to go as expensive as we can. Bottom line is you get what you pay for. And these Rockler Workbench Caster sets. This is from Rockler, and they are just absolutely super. They're real easy to install. When you look at the back end of the package here, it's real simple. 2 inches from the bottom of your floors where you put your first screw hole for the bracket. Put the brackets to the legs, and then you attach the casters. Extremely simple. Let's attach them. To help me drill that first hole that's 2 inches from the floor to that first screw location, I just made a little stick that's got a 1/4 inch hole 2 inches from the floor level. And we'll just lay that up against the leg on the floor and mark it, and that'll let me have a quick and easy reference, and all 4 will be drilled in exactly the same place. And now we just attach the caster. Lock washer, nut, we go to the other wheels, do the same thing. They're that easy to install, and they're equally as easy to roll around. This table is not a light table, and it just rolls at ease. It says it'll hold 400 pounds for each caster, so that's a pretty heavy table. You can see how easy I can roll this table around. Good purchase if you're looking for some good casters for a heavy workbench. Well, I hope that those might be helpful to you. For you pen makers, the little jig for the disc sander I had one previously and it got warped and broke in my move, so I know that is really beneficial to pen makers. I used it a lot, and I look forward to using this one with the improved runner with that corian. That thing slides so nice. And then this workbench on these Rockler casters, I really enjoy these. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you watching. And leave me some comments below. Any questions that you might have on the sanding jig or on the casters. By the way, this video was not sponsored by Rockler. I bought those casters, and just for full disclosure here. Hey everybody, have a good weekend and be safe.